There's been a lot of talk about Chase's big decision recently to really constrict their lending guidelines to a minimum credit score of 700 and a minimum down payment of 20%. But I want to help a lot of people that are willing to listen or watching this and remind everybody or inform everybody that you don't need 20% down unless you are working with a big bank and they say so, because that's what they want to do, or because you don't qualify otherwise. We can go into that a little bit more if you want to know if you qualify, because what you do need to do is you need to understand what your options are and where to look for them. You need to talk to a mortgage professional that knows what they're talking about and how to help you in your specific situation. And then also, it's worth saying, double check the news. So don't get caught up in the hype that you can't find money, you can't get lending. And so let me tell you some of what we are able to still do. You'll be happy to know what we can still do. There's a lot of different programs out here that are available to a lot of different people. So you do have to know what your options are. And I can't say that every one of these programs is going to be a good choice or a good fit for everybody. But there's a lot of people out there that fall into bad press and just miss opportunities altogether. A decade ago, when we went through the housing crisis, I'd say tens of thousands of Americans listened to the news, heard that you couldn't get credit. All the while, mortgage companies and myself were helping people refinance. And so there are thousands of people that were paying more money than they needed to just because they didn't pick up the phone or email just to find out what their options are. VA loans, great loans, USDA loans in the rural areas. USDA loans still a viable option. FHA still allows for 3.5% down. Conventional loans. You can still do a conventional loan if you're a first-time home buyer with 3% down. Keep in mind, you've got to qualify for these. They're not just giving money away. You've got to make the money. You've got to have the right credit. Guidelines did constrict a little bit. We don't know how long that's going to last during the COVID crisis because of the worry of people continuing to lose their jobs. But mortgage companies like mine are doing their due diligence to make sure that we've got every base covered to ensure as best as we can that the mortgages will get paid for money that we lend. So it's not like we're being overly risky. We are certainly being cautious about how we lend, but we're not just making a blanket statement that everybody fits into one small box. That's why you do need to know what your options are. And I have heard a lot of people say that they can't do renovation loans any longer, or they heard that there's no such thing as renovation loans anymore. That's not necessarily true either. So if you're looking to simply remodel a home, renovate an entire house, those options are still available. And a lot of people don't know 3.5% down is for an FHA renovation loan. There's also a conventional version of a renovation loan. You can do that with as little as 5% down. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I hope this helps.